Okay. So, I mean, looking at the candle by candle analysis on the S&P, man, what a funky start to the morning, right? It's the thing that I think really makes it so awkward is, I mean, obviously the NASDAQ being at all-time highs, and at the time it wasn't at 11,000 yet. It is at 11,000 now. But it was just a really awkward start to the day. Friday ended off with a really consistent bullish trend up and up and up and up and up and up and up. And then we come in on Monday with this gap higher, and then what, right? We start the day off with that. Like, ooh, oh boy, you know, that doesn't exactly get me super excited about wanting to do anything. And I think a lot of traders are going to approach it with the same mindset of, well, that's it? Like, we just had this giant gap higher and that's all you can do, like, for real? And then it starts backing off on itself. Now, this is one of those situations where I don't think anybody was really surprised by that, right? I think the sellers actually had a fairly easy time pushing down against that because everybody looked at it and saw bar one. They're like, well, that's it. You know, nobody was surprised when they saw bar two. Like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. You know, the buyers obviously weren't ramped up. So what do you think is going to happen? Buyers take profit and bar two forms. But then bar three shows up inside bull bar. Now, I say bull bar. It is by strictest definition bull bar. But if I could call it a bear bar, I would. And I think in this candle's heart and soul, it believes it's a bear bar. It identifies as a bear bar. This thing, it came all the way up to the highs and just rotated all the way back down, closed a tick off the lows, 2 ticks off the lows. I mean, way at the bottom. And when you have that kind of movement in this context where you have that massive failure to the upside, rotated down, tried going up, failed again, rotated down. Nobody was surprised by the reaction on bar two, right? That didn't surprise anybody. So when they see this happen, they're like, yeah, who would have thought, right? What a shocker. No buyer is going to want to buy this, first of all. Right? That's not going to get anybody interested on the buy side. And the only thing it's going to do is potentially allow sellers to sell underneath it to get a breakdown, right? Nice little tight channel working in here. And that's all they really were able to get done. They broke underneath it, tapped down, and where did they go? Right to the bottom of the only real support that they were able to find up to that point, and it bounced off. This is when things started getting a little bit gross, though, because now we can really see that solidified range. It's not giving us anything other than a range at that point. Now we solidify it. Now traders are thinking, ooh, okay, well, maybe this is going to be one of two things. This is either a coiled up spring that's waiting to go absolutely nuts. Sorry for the news in the background there. This is either a coiled up spring and it's going to go crazy. And usually if that's the case, it's going to have to fire off with a trap or there has to be a catalyst, something to kind of light the fire. Or this is a consolidation before it completely falls apart. And we see this roll over, fills the gap, drops lower. So a lot of sellers are still kind of watching this. This isn't going to really prove anything to them. But given that context of, okay, wait a minute, this thing might have some juice. When it rotates up through the highs and then closes out this giant bear bar, you better believe a lot of sellers are going to come in on that, right? Everybody's expecting this thing to rotate down and fill the gap. But guess what didn't happen, right? They got smoked, right? Sellers came in, they tried to get it to rotate down. And I'll be fair, right? If they were shorting for a scalp or maybe, you know, maybe a couple points, they might have got away with it. But that's it. Those are the only traders who got away with it. Were the scalpers. And anybody who was looking for more than that, this is where things got really nasty for them because they didn't even get a chance to get out at break even. It never gave them that chance. It rotated down, slammed lower, got the scalpers their targets, so scalpers are out of the way, which is the majority of the movement that you see on 5-minute charts. And all of those sellers now just stepped aside and they let it rotate back up. So anybody who's still short is scrambling. They're like, no, wait a minute, please come back. Get me out at break even. And it doesn't, right? That's the key. It doesn't let them out at break even. So when it doesn't allow that break even trigger and it closes way up here, well, guess where their stops are? Their stops are right there, right? There's not much left to do. Might as well just wait for it to take it out at this point, you know? I mean, maybe you can get out one tick better. But I mean, at that point, they're just going to let it hit. And I don't really know if they had much time to react, honestly. I think that actually went pretty quick into the stop. But it stopped them all out. Now, this is where we have that trap. This is the catalyst that sparks that potential reversal back up. Because what do we have? We have this initial range. They closed outside of it. They did stay outside of it for more than one, I mean, it wasn't just a twin reversal where they closed out and back in. This is what I call a one candle distance gap. They closed out, paused, closed back in. And in this case, not only did they close back in to kind of make up for this, they closed way above it. It's, they were like, oh, sorry, we screwed that last bull bar up. Here's a significantly better one. And they closed way the heck up here. Well, now you have a situation where you have a trap catalyst and sellers are stuck and they were not allowed to get out at break even. And now they're in the juicer, right? They're getting squeezed. You've got candle gapping to the upside. That's forecasting higher objectives. The market's not even filling in those gaps yet. And it's just bull bar, bull bar, bull bar, bull bar, bull bar, bull bar, bull bar. What do you think that is going to happen on the first bear bar? Like, holy crap, finally a pullback. Get me in, right? Every buyer on the planet is going to be buying bar 14, bar 15, the open 16. And they're all looking for the same thing, back up. Sellers who are stuck down here know that, so they're not going to short down here. That'd be stupid. What they're waiting for is a better area at the short end to draw their average up, and I don't think we've hit that yet. So right now, I still think sellers are in the juicer, and they're not in a good way right now. They are definitely in the juicer. We've got some more candle gapping to the upside. I mean, they're getting squeezed, and this is your stereotypical squeeze to the upside. So, I mean, as far as the analysis goes, I think most of the morning hinged on that trap on bar 6 into 7 and 8. And now that those sellers are stuck on 6, have fun. I mean, they might be in the juicer the whole day.